Welcome. The video you are about to see highlights the district strategic plan. Our district staff will review past objectives while sharing our vision for the future. Please enjoy the wonderful pictures of our students taken during the first days of school. Thank you and enjoy.
Here speaking with Mrs. Karen Brown and her son Matthew. And Matthew just got through Moose Hill. He spent a year there. And how was Moose Hill? Was it great? What was the one thing you really loved about it, Matthew?
The library.
The library. You like to read? Oh, that's wonderful. And anything else that you liked at Moose Hill?
Going outside.
Going outside,
What about your teachers?
Yeah, that's wonderful.
It's amazing. I hadn't really experienced a standalone kindergarten building before, and it's just kind of a nice way to get your feet wet and learn the school district and really just get a sense of what's to come.
And our purpose today is just to sort of get a sense of what you're looking for the future from the Londonderry schools. Your children are going to go through the next, Matthew, 12 years. And when they finish, what would you like to see, Karen?
My three kids are really unique in all of their learning abilities and their just identities. They're such individuals. And so I want to see an individualized plan for each of them. They're all going to study differently. They're all going to learn differently, and I want to make sure that some of my kids don't go through the same struggles that I went through going through the school district that I grew up from. I went to college unprepared, and I want to make sure that they learn the study skills that I didn't learn that can be molded to their learning personalities, because everybody learns in different ways. Some people are tangible, some people just have to read it once and they learn it. Some people need to read the directions, write the directions, and then say the directions out loud. And I want to know that the teachers recognize that for each child and that each child is different.
Moose Hill School opened its doors in August of 2001 to the school district's youngest learners, our pre-K and kindergarten students. What a fun and exciting time that was and continues to be for our district. For most of our students, it is their first exposure to public school. When we first opened, we identified benchmarks for our students to determine what our students should know and be able to do upon their completion of the kindergarten year. Those benchmarks have evolved over the last 11 years to our adopting the core standards that we have today. You will hear from the elementary principals about professional learning communities, response to intervention, and other initiatives within our district, which we also use at Moose Hill School. My focus for the purpose of this video will be to explain the transitions that we have throughout the district. Starting with the LEAP and kindergarten programs, we assist students as well as their parents in making the transition into the public school system. We want students to be successful, so we invite parents to a meeting in which the LEAP kindergarten programs are explained and the parents can ask questions. Next, we have an open house that anyone can attend, and we often have the opportunity to see former students who are showing their siblings around the school. The next part of the process is the part I consider to be most beneficial and successful for our students as well as their parents. On the first day of school, the parents ride the bus with their child and follow an abbreviated schedule within the classroom, then ride the bus home. This first day helps our young students to feel comfortable making the transition from home to a new situation. The next day, when the students come in by themselves, they usually know their way to class and feel comfortable because they have already been to class within the comfort and security of having their parent with them. The next transition is from Moose Hill to the elementary schools. In May, we take a field trip to the elementary school the child will attend for first grade. The elementary administration meets the students and gives them a tour of the building. The students get very excited after that visit as they start looking forward to the new school year. Between elementary and middle to high, the same type of transitions take place. A field trip is arranged and the administration of each of those schools provide the students with tours of the buildings, as well as activities to help the students get acclimated to the new environment. For some children, each change, whether from grade level to grade level or from one school to the next, is not always an exciting time, but a time of anxiety for what the next level brings. These transitions help those students to feel more comfortable and prepare the students for the next step of their educational career here in the Londonderry School District. I would like to first talk about the past. We sort of rolled out our technology in a rather gradual fashion, but the world is really getting so high-tech that we've had to move along as best we can with the funds that we have. In the past, we piloted smart boards. In the last few years, we had found that they were a wonderful tool in the classroom. We also used fast math to help the children to learn their math facts, and we found that that was a really wonderful tool for the children to really get to the point where their math facts are automatic, and that was something that we were looking for. Instead of having computers in all the classrooms, what we've done is purchased mobile labs. I believe each of the schools has 2, and we use those so that the technology is there for the teachers when they need it. But it's an excellent use of funds to have the mobile labs rather than to have a number of computers in each classroom. But in 4th and 5th grade, we do put 5 computers in each classroom, and the children use them and the mobile labs to complete a research project. And that way they're using technology, and we're integrating technology as much in the past as we could. This year, in the present, what we're doing is expanding our use of smart boards. We're trying to get more smart boards at each of the upper grade levels so that all children will be assured the opportunity to have that tool in the classroom. And we find that it's excellent for integration of technology into our curriculum. We're also looking at the institution of digital portfolios this year. We have created portfolios that each of the students will have to save their technology pieces. In the future, and this is where the strategic plan has been so helpful, is we would like to see smart boards in all the classrooms, because the teachers are learning to use the technology and they're clamoring for it. So that would be our goal for the future. We also will have the students, as they're creating different digital artifacts, have them stored in digital portfolios, and have the students reflecting on what am I doing and why am I using this technology and how is it improving my learning. We also need to look at training teachers and integrating technology. We've things like flipped learning that we've experienced. The middle school has piloted. It's been very successful. We'd like to bring that down to 4th and 5th grade. We also are looking at iPads and how we can use those. We've certainly used them with some of our students with disabilities, but we would like to use them even more. It's such a powerful tool and puts information in the hands of the children. With the Common Core, we're going to be using the Smarter Balance to be testing the students rather than the kneecaps. And so we will need computers for all the students to take the Smarter Balance test. So those are all the things that we're looking for in the future with technology.
Over the past 2 years, the kindergarten and elementary schools have engaged in a practice called professional learning communities, or PLCs. Though teams have always met on a regular basis, the PLC structure brings more focus to the collaborative dialogue with the goal of increased learning for students and teachers alike. The fundamental purpose of a PLC school is learning rather than teaching. The elementary school data points to the fact that students with disabilities are not making the needed progress. We began the process in the spring of 2010 by attending PLC workshops and visiting a Merrimack PLC team in action. Our PLC teams have been meeting bi-weekly since September 2010 to identify essential learning goals, analyze assessment data, and develop common formative assessments, or CFAs. The CFA is a quick quiz that is not graded, but used to group students by performance levels. This process ensures that every student will receive the supports and appropriate resources they need to relearn, enrich, or extend their learning. A district PLC core team with members from each grade level from each school, including special educators, reading specialists, and administrators, has been working with a consultant since June 2010 to implement these practices. This summer, the core team received training in how to align their work with the Common Core state standards. This past year, South School implemented the next step in the process with WIN groups, WIN meaning what I need. These are the reteach and enrichment groups developed based on the results of the CFA, the Common Formative Assessment. Students are assigned to smaller groups ranging from 12 to 15 students for a reteach or enrichment lesson, in other words, what they need. The goal is to have all students master all 20 essential learning goals for each grade level, in a sense, the guaranteed curriculum. We are very pleased about the students' positive response to the process. They often start their day by asking teachers if they are winning today, which is a new verb, winning, we are winning. This school year, WIN groups will be expanded to North and Matthew Thornton schools. And finally, professional learning communities judge their effectiveness on the basis of results. On a yearly basis, teams begin by establishing SMART goals, S-M-A-R-T, and these goals are S, strategic, aligned with the Londonderry Strategic Plan, M, measurable, A, attainable, R, results-oriented, and T, time-bound. We will begin this process all over again during our first PLC meetings this fall. In the future, we expect that our SMART goals will show increasingly positive results of our students' learning.
While professional learning communities are the vehicle which students learn, it is the curriculum that is at the heart of all of this process. The number one goal of the strategic plan is to ensure that curriculum, instruction, and assessment are designed and delivered to enable learners to achieve or exceed our district standards. As Linda stated, it is the fundamental purpose of the school to ensure learning. For many years, the Londonderry School District has had an articulated curriculum. However, through the years, we have reviewed and revised that curriculum as we made data-driven decisions based upon a variety of assessments. One of those assessments is the kneecap testing. We've used that data, along with Iowa testing and unit benchmark tests in reading and math, to make decisions regarding what children need to learn to be successful students and lifelong learners. From all testing, including the kneecap test, we have identified weaknesses and strengths, and as a result, in the past, we did adopt the Scott Forsman reading program and the math program, which enabled teachers in reading in particular to deliver a three-tiered model. This model continues to promote differentiation of instruction, which allows children to learn at their cognitive levels. It enhances the ability for teachers to enrich those students that need it, as well as to provide a means to give students the extra that they may need for the articulated skills. Because we've been identified as a SENI school, we've used the data as a basis for professional development. Teachers have been provided training in specialized programs that target the needs of our special education population in particular. While we remain SENI schools, we are also proud of the fact that our students in this population have shown growth over time. The PLC work that we're currently invested in will further enhance student growth and learning. In reading, teachers from across the district have developed learning goals and common formative assessments related to measuring those goals. In doing so, the teachers have done a great job in aligning the goals to the Common Core. Based upon the knowledge gained, they are expanding their reading program to a blended approach, which simply means that they are going to take the Scott Forsman program and expand it with levelized trade books. The trade books will give the students real-life application to the skills that are being taught without losing sight of what needs to be articulated through our PLC process. Reading has been the prime focus of our PLC teamwork across the district, within our schools, and within each grade level. However, grade level groups of teachers from across the district have also begun the process of defining the math skills required to meet the ever-growing demand of the Common Core. In addition to identifying learning goals and analyzing the data, they've begun the process of creating common assessments which will ensure a curriculum that is delivered in accordance with the diverse needs of our students. The end result will allow students to get what they need, whether it be to relearn, enrich, or extend their learning. We're in the process of reviewing resources and materials to support the math curriculum, which is also supporting the focus monitoring that has begun, particularly with our special education students. We continue to design and implement remediation services for our students to ensure that we meet the diverse needs of this population. It should be noted, however, that in the process that many teachers have gone beyond simply teaching the curriculum and its skills. They become more reflective of the delivery of the curriculum, which lends itself to differentiation of the curriculum, as well as increasing student engagement. It is anticipated that PLC teams will expand communication beyond reading when they get together and will now include math. In all areas of the curriculum, we will continue to articulate, implement, and assess our curricula both horizontally and vertically in response to our learners' needs.
Well, in the past, we had the teacher assistance team, and the teacher assistance team morphed into response to intervention, or RTI as it's fondly called. And each school sort of did their own way of using the RTI model to individualize instruction. This year, in the present, we're working on making sure we're using consistent practices among all the schools, from kindergarten all the way up to the high school. And we are meeting together as groups, trying to make sure that our forms are consistent and that we're responding in the same way to each student that is brought to the Response to Intervention Committee. And in the future, what we would like to see is the individualization of instructional practices to meet the diverse needs of the students.
All right, I'm going to be talking about PBIS, Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports. The 3 elementary schools have adopted PBIS as their school-wide discipline program. We did not do this because we had a big discipline problem. We implemented these strategies in an effort to increase uninterrupted instructional time. The program was first implemented at South School 8 years ago to better support the children in the district's emotionally and behaviorally disordered program called PFS, or Program for Success. In order to improve the behavior of these children, we needed to bring up the behavior of the whole student population. PBIS is a nationally recognized behavior system that's been adopted in over 3,000 schools in the United States. Though each of our 3 elementary schools, South, North, and Matthew Thornton, followed a different adoption cycle and has personalized the system to fit the culture of the schools, we all follow the same basic tenets. And these are, we've adopted a consistent approach to prevent problem behavior and to respond to problem behavior. At South School, respect, responsibility, and safety are words that dominate many classroom conversations. These words frame the common language that we use with children to recognize their efforts to make good choices and to define for students those moments that they have not followed the school expectations. Matthew Thornton's expectations are PAWS, P-A-W-S, for their Tiger Paws. P, positive attitude. A, act responsibly. W, work and play safely. And S, show respect. At North School, they have Brownie the Bear, and they follow the bear's tracks for success: respect, responsibility, and safety. The backbone of the program in all 3 schools is the behavior matrix that identifies the behavior expectations in all areas of the school. The connection between uninterrupted instructional time and student behavior is that when students can transition quickly and quietly between activities and operate respectfully with each other, time is saved that would typically have been spent on managing students. The more time that teachers spend on meaningful instruction, the more our students have an opportunity to learn. Though each of our schools recognized immediate success in recapturing instructional time and a general improvement in respectfulness and responsiveness to others, we saw long-term effects as well. Students who experienced PBIS expectations for all 5 of their elementary school years showed an ever-increasing ability to manage themselves and respond positively. This self-control can also be seen in the behavior trends noted at the middle and high school, which are beginning to see marked improvement in the number of discipline reports. Future plans for sustaining the positive effects of PBIS is a possible implementation of the program at the kindergarten level.
Londonderry Middle School continues to provide students with programs which meet the unique needs of its learners. Students are undergoing greater physiological, psychological, and social reorientation than at any other period of their lives. Our purpose, as evidenced through the school district's strategic plan, is to meet the educational, developmental, and social needs that emerge during this transition period. Our middle school provides a supportive and flexible environment so students will have opportunities to develop skills and explore a variety of learning experiences while making the transition from elementary to high school. Because of the unique needs of the middle school child, we strive to differentiate its instruction to address not only the academic needs, but the emotional and social needs as well. To incorporate this philosophy, Londonderry Middle School has developed programs such as the Big Buddy Initiative that pairs adult staff with students to assist them in making a strong connection to our school. We have over 20 clubs and 23 sports teams, as well as a wellness program that includes a variety of activities throughout the year. Many are suggested by our students. These clubs and activities range from Boys and Girls Respect to the Recycling Club, the Quidditch Club, and even snowshoeing.
Here at Londonderry Middle School, we recognize that students need to begin now to prepare for college and career readiness. Last year, we implemented a financial education component in the 8th grade math curriculum, and this year we are expanding into the 7th grade. In collaboration with St. Mary's Bank, students research a career and the salary or hourly wage associated with it, and then proceed to determine where they will live, the education necessary to qualify for this job, and the living expenses they would incur. The unit culminates with a trip to the Credit Union Museum in Manchester, where they meet with their credit advisor to go through the loan application process and finance the necessary living expenses. The middle school classroom extends beyond our walls in many other ways as well. In more and more classrooms this year, students will experience a teaching model called flipped learning. In this model, the teacher provides the classroom lesson to be viewed at home, and the work, commonly tackled at home, will now be completed in the classroom under the guidance of the teacher. In addition, through the use of iPads and smartboards, students' response systems, and Google Apps, students will have opportunities to communicate with many people in and out of their classroom and interact with the curriculum in real time. They will have timely feedback on data they have collected, not only on their own academic progress, but data relative to the world around them. Behind the scenes, the teaching staff will be focusing on many initiatives this year. The entire staff is working on implementing many new technologies, enhancing their differentiating strategies, unpacking the new Common Core standards. They will be collecting data to enhance their instruction to meet the needs of the 21st century learner. We are administering the Gates Reading Assessment this year to all students to better inform our content teachers of the students' reading abilities. And we are also utilizing a full school writing rubric consistent with the high school and meeting by grade level departments weekly to discuss what students are learning and how to continuously improve their instruction. Finally, this year we will be creating a math study group composed of faculty and parents to review the latest research. Eventually, this group will make recommendations to the administration regarding our math curriculum and potential options for Londonderry Middle School. We are very excited about this new and innovative additions to our curriculum, and we look forward to the upcoming school year.
The New England Association of Schools and Colleges is an international commission that oversees best practice in education. Londonderry High School is a member school who receives accreditation from this commission, and that's based upon 7 standards that we believe in and we adhere to. Those standards are mission and expectations, curriculum, instruction and assessment, leadership, school resources for learning, and community resources for learning. 4 years ago, we completed a comprehensive self-study within these areas with input from our student body, parents and community members, our staff, the administration, and district personnel. 2 years ago, a visiting team of colleagues from around New England conducted an on-site visit to verify our findings and complete a final report which they sent to the Commission. The result of that report was a 10-year accreditation for Londonderry High School and represented the most complimentary report in the school's history. We received 70 commendations against 35 recommendations within that report. Currently, we are addressing the 35 recommendations in a 2-year progress report which we need to submit to the Commission this fall. Our next goal is to complete a 5-year progress report of all the recommendations given and then begin to prepare for our next decennial cycle.
Hello, the Senior Project provides our seniors the opportunity to pursue a topic idea of their choice along with the guidance of a staff member known as their mentor along the journey. The Senior Project provides our students the ability to embody our mission statement as they truly function as self-directed learners. This project offers a personalized learning experience showcasing the talents and skills of our seniors and all that they've developed through the Londonderry School system. Students present their completed work and research in a portfolio, which they present during the roundtables presentations. Then during Senior Week, we have the Senior Project Showcase, where they have given the opportunity to share their work with the entire community. There's such a variety of projects each year. I'd like to share with you 3 from previous years. One is Nick DeFrancesco, who worked the year creating a concert that he held at the Adams Opera House. All money raised went to support a new scholarship fund that he specifically created for the music department. He raised over $3,000 for that scholarship fund in a very successful evening. The following year, Deborah Geiger continued that fund, raised money by selling 300 CDs that he spent the year working on and compiled. Also, I'd like to share with you Nick Keston, who spent the year working in the medals room with our medals instructor, creating a Lancer armor, completely everything made out of chainmail, metal, and there's a picture of that with Nick in it.
In the past, student collaboration took place in the classroom or outside of school when students were able to work together. Throughout the 11-12 school year, Google Docs accounts were created for all current juniors and seniors. Students collaborated in this 21st century way with each other and their instructors in English and social studies classes. In the future, we anticipate all students in the high school using these accounts and being able to collaborate with their colleagues, instructors on projects, and to increase their ability to incorporate these 21st century learning skills into their academics. In the past, students in junior English classes were part of a technology-enhanced classroom which began in a limited fashion in a classroom with 6 computer stations, encouraging students to view technology as a tool for learning rather than simply a word processor. Following the success of this limited introduction to technology, junior English classes incorporated a 1-to-4 environment in all junior English classes with a study of a 1-to-1 computing setting in one English class. In the 12-13 school year, a 1-to-1 computing environment is being utilized in all junior English courses, providing students with the opportunity to place their learning in a 21st century learning environment, encouraging ethical use of information and improved research skills. In the past, we saw the need for all students to be assessed in common courses utilizing a common assessment. Assessment tools were designed by all instructors teaching a common course. We have now taken this to the next level by incorporating course competencies into all courses at Londonderry High School. Students demonstrate their proficiency in a course through their performance on these multiple assessment opportunities. Through increased professional development, teachers review scores on common assessment and review curriculum and delivery appropriately and accordingly make changes. In the past, administrators made periodic walkthroughs in classrooms monitoring the delivery of instruction. Over the past several years, walkthroughs have been increased and formalized. Administrators walk through classrooms and follow up with teachers regarding strategies being utilized in their classrooms. In the 12-13 school year, administrators will be using technology to formalize and track trends in classroom instruction as a method of providing feedback to staff and to look at our overall delivery of instruction.
Each year we work to implement the goals and objectives of the district's adopted technology plan, especially as they relate to the integration of information communication technology. As such, we are migrating away from the old instructional delivery methods and integrating new technologies that not only enhance the delivery of instruction, but encourage the involvement of the learner in the subject matter. In recent years, through action research, we have identified technologies that have successfully enhanced the delivery of instruction, such as one-to-one computing, the use of interactive whiteboards, document cameras, and student response systems. Currently, we are incorporating the use of streaming video content, flipped learning, and the use of course management software to develop webinars and collaborative workspaces for both students and teachers. We have and will continue to utilize distance learning to extend the learning environment of our students and have begun investigation into the use of virtual technologies to both individualize instruction for identified populations and within specific content areas, as well as to consider the needs of the 21st century learner to meet the evolving requirements of a more global and participatory culture.
Throughout the 11-12 school year, the Londonderry School District has been engaged in the focus monitoring process. This has facilitated the collaboration between special education and regular education to look at the programming district-wide. Throughout the year, both the achievement and the leadership team have met monthly to develop a hypothesis and analyze data around student achievement. The result of that analysis has led to our Focus Monitoring Action Plan, which rivals the Strategic Plan in being over 400 pages long. This plan will be implemented during the upcoming school year. Areas of focus include monitoring student achievement in math, using both data collection through the AIMS web for a universal screening for our children with disabilities, and continued analysis of the Iowa data. It includes implementation of the math toolkit to support the Scott Forsman program at the elementary level, continued data analysis of our team teaching model, and as you'll recall from our June presentation, looking at our district-wide response to intervention model to ensure consistency and both early and timely student intervention. The results of the district-wide IEP compliance review in November of 2011 were excellent. The district was found to have only one area of needed improvement in writing our IEPs. And to that end, we have provided professional development in crafting measurable IEP goals with strong accountability in baseline data collection and progress monitoring. We were found to be 100% compliant with our secondary transition and through our annual district reporting, 100% compliant in our initial evaluations. All of our programs now have renewed Department of Education approval.
Good evening. The strategic plan for interscholastic athletics in the Londonderry School District, our main goal to provide the students with the opportunity to participate in a rich variety of sports, to be coached and mentored by knowledgeable and caring individuals, and to learn the value of hard work, competition, team play, group work, individual effort, leadership, and sportsmanship, and to ensure each individual an enjoyable and rewarding experience. Currently, there is no athletic or co-curricular subcommittee to provide input for future strategic planning. I think that moving forward, the addition of the athletic and co-curricular subcommittee in the future would be a good way for us to evaluate our program vertically, beginning with the entry-level programs at Londonderry Middle School and continuing right up through our programs at Londonderry High School to make sure that we are sequential in the development of our athletes and programs to help our programs maximize their potential while taking advantage of the expertise of our coaches. Also, it would be a good way to communicate directly with the building principals so that we can be proactive in avoiding issues before they arise, especially in the area of facility scheduling. Currently, I oversee this function by myself, and when I started as a district AD in 2008, I implemented the vertical sequential philosophy to help maximize the programs, and now this would be, again, in the future, the next logical step by forming the athletic and co-curricular subcommittee. In the areas of professional development, we continue to encourage and support our coaches to take part in clinics, workshops, to work with college coaches, and to purchase professional development materials such as videos and books so that they stay current with their knowledge of skills, strategies, techniques related to their sports. To support our teams and co-curricular programs and the types of community outreach programs that we take part in, prior to my arrival at Londonderry High School as the athletic director, we really didn't do a whole lot of community outreach. And then when I came in 2008, we formed an athletic leadership council, and one of their main functions was to perform community service projects so that our athletes understand the importance of supporting the community. Some of the projects that we have participated in are Penguin Plunge for Special Olympics, raising funds for the Bella Tucker Fund. We've raised money for the Becca Tenney Memorial Fund. We've raised funds for the Super Coupe Fund, which was for a Nashua High School North football player who became paralyzed during a game. We've held a bowl-a-thon for muscular dystrophy, and we take part every winter in the basketball Hoops for Hunger program through the NHIAA, which benefits our local food pantry. Other things that the Athletic Leadership Council will take on in the future, we plan to institute a leadership program that will begin in this fall, the fall of 2012. That will be run through our Athletic Leadership Council, and then it will also be filtered through our team captains, and that's a program that we will be instituting coming this fall, in the fall of 2012. As far as our facilities and grounds, I meet with our district facilities director to tour our outdoor facilities each fall and spring. We evaluate them to determine our needs based on the different sports, and that seems to be a real good system that I believe will keep in place. I think the key moving forward is to keep that open communication with a district facilities manager, and I think that that's been a very good relationship that we've forged to evaluate our facilities, and I think we have outstanding facilities, second to none really in New Hampshire high school athletics. In the areas of providing our student athletes with information regarding playing intercollegiate athletics, before I got here, I can't really address what was done, but I know when I came, we instituted a program called Meet the Coaches, where each season we meet with the student athletes, and then the coaches meet with the student athletes. And one of the functions of the Meet the Coaches nights is to provide the student athletes with resources. In the future, beginning next fall, we will be one of the regional program sites for the New Hampshire Higher Education Assistance Foundation, hosting a panel discussion of current college coaches, and they'll provide information regarding the expectations as far as participation in intercollegiate athletics. Finally, as far as academic support goes, All of our coaches understand the priority of academics and work with students to prioritize their time to be successful in not only athletics but academics as well. Many of our coaches have instituted after-school study halls prior to the beginning of practices. And moving forward, I think in the future we would like to expand that program for the student athletes that require extra academic support so that, again, we can hold true to the student athlete credo where they're students first and athletes second. And I feel very strongly that our coaching staff supports this initiative, and moving forward, again, we will look to expand that after-school study hall program for other sports, or all of our sports.
The strategic plan provides the music department with an opportunity to set long-range goals designed to address our continuing mission of developing a total and comprehensive music program at all levels. Past accomplishments in this area include the purchase of standardized music textbooks for each of our elementary schools, the introduction of Smart Music, a music performance computer program at the middle school, and the establishment of a computer music lab at the high school. More recently, the focus has been on curriculum updating at all schools, putting music curriculum electronically online, and establishing toolkits and a procedures manual for the music department at each school. Over the next few years, our focus will be to continue to support, maintain, and further the development of the numerous ensembles that currently exist in all of our schools. This includes our many bands, choral, and orchestral groups within the district, as well as our smaller chamber groups at the middle school, and of course the marching and color guide programs. Many of these groups meet either before or after regular school hours and often involve evening and weekend time as well. Other items involve the review of common assessments, review of high school competencies, and the establishment of an optional enrichment private lessons program designed to be an extension of our performance curriculum for those interested, which will address individual needs and supplement our ensemble offerings. Finally, the music department wishes to thank the community for its continued support over the years. The music program has certainly become an exciting part of the Londonderry experience. Also, feel free to follow the music program's activities and calendar of events on the web at lansingmusic.org. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce the Human Resource Department. This is Cindy McMahon, the Benefits Coordinator, and Melissa Thompson, the Human Resource Generalist, and I'm Susie Swinson, the HR Director. And we are responsible for the recruitment and retention of the staff in the strategic plan. Nothing will improve the education of students more than recruiting, hiring, developing, evaluating, and retaining the highest quality classroom teachers, staff, and administrators. These words are what inspire the HR department.
When we first started, we've been together over 10 years, we used to have a turnover of between 100 and 125 employees per year. Back in 2002, we had the first job fair in the state. We had moved to preset applications. They could have preset time appointments, but now we've moved into something new and different to keep up.
Our applications are no longer pieces of paper. Everything is online. Teachers can go onto the website, fill out their application, update their application at any time. scan in their certification, their transcripts, and they can all be accessed 24/7 by our administrators.
As you can tell, we started out 10 years ago with a budget of around $18,000, and through the internet and being able to advertise online, we have been able to reduce that cost down to what's $1,500 to do ed jobs. So again, like I say, social networking is going to be the wave of the future. So as in the strategic plan, our main goal is to recruit and retain highly qualified professional and support staff. And this is the HR department's first priority. Thank you.
It's legitimate to ask as a community member and as a parent, am I getting a return on my investment for public school dollars? I think the answer to that is yes. I'd like to spend a couple of minutes with you talking to you about what your return on investment has been and the direction we intend to go as the Londonderry School District. It's important to know that some of the statistics I'm going to give you are basically focused on the high school, but they are a result of our pre-K through 12 educational program and the work and effort of our dedicated administration, faculty, and staff with the cooperation of you, the parents, and our school board. Last year's graduating class, 88% of them went on to 2- and 4-year colleges. We had 181 New Hampshire scholars. We had 39 scholar athletes. Our SAT scores were above national average, and our dropout rate was 0.4%, translating into a graduation rate of 99.6%. 75% of our special ed graduating seniors went on to either a 2- or a 4-year college. We had 1,525 students take advanced placement, honors, or running start courses. We had articulation agreements with a scholarship value for the last 3 years of $3,242,000. We have presently tech initiatives at all levels, including up-to-date computers, smart boards, flipped learning, online courses, tech-rich classrooms, and we have instituted action research initiatives for iPads and environmental science, student response systems, to name a few. We also pride our fact that we have a comprehensive school program. We have co- and extracurricular activities that add very much to the school life of all of our students. At elementary through high school level, we have 7,135 participants in our co- and extracurricular activities. That includes 78 sports teams at middle school and high school, 28 clubs and co-curricular activities at the elementary level, 20 clubs and co-curricular activities at the middle school, and 44 clubs and co-curricular activities at the high school. It is also very important for our students to understand that community service is something of value, and we provide opportunities for them to give back to the community. And that is done at all levels. And let me give you a couple of examples. The Walk for Hunger, Special Olympics, Warm Homes, More Mart, Soup Kitchen, Toys for Tots, Canned Food Drive, and Pantene Beautiful Lengths. We believe, too, that school facilities should be available to all members of the community. As a result, our schools have 250 after-school school and community activities every single week. Our faculty, staff, and administration have also, and our schools, have garnered numerous local, state, and national awards and recognition. Londonderry High School was High School of the Year. We've had Principals of the Year, Assistant Principals of the Year, New Hampshire Teacher of the Year, Math Teacher of the Year, Humanities Teacher of the Year, Science Teachers of the Year, Millikan Fellow. All of these are just representative of the outstanding quality of faculty and staff that we have working with our students. We also have outstanding special education programs and alternative educational pathways for our students, allowing the non-traditional student to get a Londonderry High School diploma. All of this is accomplished at below state average per pupil cost. How, you might ask, are we able to do this? One, obviously, is economy of scale. Two, we make a significant effort in controlling costs, as well as providing quality programs. And I think our special education program is a perfect example. We have developed what we call numerous in-house special education programs for low-incidence students, providing as good, if not better, educational opportunities and programs for these students. As a result, next year alone, we will save almost $7 million in costs because we have developed these programs in district. Since '06, going ahead to FY13, we have saved the community almost $38 million. And that has been done by providing outstanding special education programs and not having to pay tuition and transportation for out-of-district placements. We have had in place for 11 years now an energy management program that has saved over $4 million and will save us $300,000 next year. Because of wellness activities, we have been able to keep our health insurance rates 9% below the national trend, with increases of 0, 2, and 1% over the last 3 years. These statistics show a picture of a high-quality school district. The picture has been painted with a palette of personalization, caring, and the nexus of content and instruction. This same palette must course through all of our present and future actions. The hallmark being, if you will, each kid, his or her needs and interests all the time. With all that has been said, we cannot rest on our laurels. Our direction is clear. If we are to continue to attend to the needs of our students and be education's choice in a world that is changing by the nanosecond, to assert the public good and private benefit and return on investment in Londonderry public education, and we have no choice. We must continue to evolve and transform, if you will, our educational system and ourselves by continuing to grow, constantly adapt, learn, and embrace change and strengthen our partnerships. And to do this, we will successfully navigate the exciting and challenging seas of educational innovation, personalization, global, demographic, technological, political, and economic stimuli. In order to give every student the opportunity and knowledge to earn their wings, we have established the following goal. All graduating students will demonstrate college and/or career readiness based on an expanded definition of rigorous content, adaptive skills, and critical dispositions by 2017. A college and career-ready student possesses the content knowledge, skills, and habits necessary to be successful in any of a wide range of post-secondary settings or training programs that leads to a family-sustaining career. While not every student needs exactly the same set of knowledge and skills, a student's interests should help determine the precise knowledge and skills the student needs to be ready for post-secondary studies. If we take a look at the chart, we can see the concentric circles that we have. Key cognitive strategies, really what we're talking about there are thinking skills, analysis, reasoning, problem solving. Key content knowledge, we're talking about writing, research, math, science, social studies, and the arts. Academic behaviors, the ability to self-monitor and study skills are critically important. And contextual skills and awareness, the ability to know what colleges and training programs need, what activities must you participate in, what is the cost, how do we go about researching the best selection for that particular child. I strongly believe that all of us continuing to work together, we will continue to provide high quality programs for all of our students and will be, in fact, the first choice for education in New Hampshire, New England, and the United States. With all of your cooperation and all of us working together, this is a very attainable goal. Thank you.